Hello everyone, myself Assistant Professor Kavita Padmawar from Arihant Institute of Teacher Training, Pune. In this video today we will discuss about measurement, assessment and evaluation. First we will see about measurement. What is meant by measurement? Measurement is the act or the process of ascertaining the extent or quantity of something. When we measure the weight of any person, when we measure the marks of any student or height of any person, that is called measurement. For measurement, we use standardized tools for knowing about the marks of the students. For achievement of the students, we conduct tests. So these are the tools which we use for the measurement. Means by measuring, we can ascertain the extent or quantity of something. Now, what is the measurement of importance of measurement? Measurement is a baseline of evaluation. Means to evaluate, we need measurement. That's why it is called baseline of evaluation. That we will discuss later why it is called baseline. Because without measurement, we cannot evaluate. Whatever data is collected in measurement are processed, analyzed and interpreted in the form of opinion of the evaluator. When we evaluate, means what we do, first we measure the things, whatever data we are getting, that data we will process the data, then analyze, and based on that we will interpret the opinion of the evaluator. That is called evaluation. Without measurement, it is not possible to evaluate anyone. As we have seen that measurement is the baseline of evaluation. That's why without measurement, we cannot evaluate anyone. What is the importance of measurement? What we can get from the measurement? It gives numerical description. Why numerical? Because we get data in the form of numbers. That's why it gives numerical description. Measurement is essential for evaluation process. In the previous slide also we have seen that it is baseline for the evaluation. That's why it is essential for evaluation process. Measurement is in objective form. So it is useful in daily routine. Why we can say that it is in objective form? Because we can get data in the form of numbers, and the tools which we use for the measurement, those are standardized tools. And if many people use that particular tool and measure the things, the answer or the result will be same. That's why measurement is in objective form. It is important to decide the quality of a thing or a person. Measurement will help to decide the quality of a thing or a person. Measurement can be compared with the standard norms. We can compare with the standard norms. Now the next term is assessment. What is meant by assessment? Assessment is the procedure to judge the progress of a learner with the help of data collected by different evaluation tools. In assessment, what we do? We use various evaluation tools and we can judge the progress of the learner. That is called an assessment. Assessment involves testing of the students, correction of the students' work. Means in measurement we only assign the marks to the students for their performance. But in assessment it involves testing of the students also and correction of the students' work. Means we do both the things in assessment. As we know, assessment is a process and it is based on certain principles. Now we will discuss about the principles of assessment. The first principle is it should be mentioned what is to be assessed. Means our objective of assessment should be very clear. The procedure of the assessment should be related to the characteristics of performance to be measured. What we have to measure, what we have to assess, based on that the characteristics we will measure. Different tools and techniques are included in assessment. For assessment, we will not depend only on one tool or technique, but we have to use various different relevant tools and techniques for the assessment. An assessor should be skilled one. he or she should know how to use a particular tool, the nature of the observations. Hence, as we know, for assessment we require various multiple tools and techniques. So, the assessor should be skilled one. He should know all the merits and demerits or limitations of each tool and technique. Then only the assessor can use those properly and effectively. It helps to evaluate the students. As we know, assessment helps to evaluate the students. It gives proper meaning to the evaluation process. This is a part of evaluation process assessment. It describes the facts. It guides to improve the teaching learning process. With the help of assessment, we can get some feedback, and based on that, we can improve teaching learning process. Now, evaluation. What is meant by evaluation? Evaluation refers to the act or process of determining the value of something. We here determine the value of something. It is qualitative judgment of how good or how satisfactory an individual performance has been. Yes, here we get the answer of how good and how satisfactory. Both the answers we can get, and it is a qualitative judgment. It is based on measurement and assessment. We can use the data which we get from the measurement. We analyze that data and process that data, and then we can give qualitative judgment about the individual. Then systematic process of determining the extent to which educational objectives are achieved by the students. It is a systematic process through which we can find out the achievement of the students. It is a study to determine the effectiveness of instruction in respect of an individual child, a group of children, or the school program. We can find out, or we can determine the effectiveness of teaching learning process, of the progress of individual child or a group of children or school program. We can compare with each other. Evaluation includes both quantitative and qualitative description of pupil behavior plus value judgment. As here we can see, it includes both quantitative and qualitative description of pupils' behavior. Means here we measure the marks or achievement of the students in the form of numbers. That's why it is in the quantitative nature. We use various tools and techniques through which we can get qualitative description. Means remarks or feedback about the students or observations of the students' behavior. Based on that, we can do value judgment. We can evaluate the student. What are the principles on which evaluation is based on? The principles of evaluation are purposeful or based on the objectives. Always evaluation should be or will be based on a particular objective. While keeping your objective in mind, we can do the evaluation process. Selection of evaluation technique. To evaluate the students or evaluate something, we have to use proper selection of evaluation technique. We have to select evaluation tools and techniques by keeping in mind that what is our objective is. Then comprehensive evaluation. It is comprehensive because we cannot focus only on one aspect. We consider all the aspects and then we can evaluate. Proper use of evaluation techniques. As we have seen in previous slide also, that when we know the merits and limitations of tools and techniques, then only we can use the tools or techniques properly. It is a continuous process. Why it is a continuous process? Because first we decide the objectives. Based on those objectives, we provide learning experiences to the students. After providing learning experiences, we test or we evaluate the students with the help of proper evaluation tools. From that evaluation, we can get a feedback. By using that feedback, we can change our teaching learning process, or we can modify or improve our teaching learning process. That's why it is a continuous process. Evaluation is done by many. Evaluation is not based on any one person's observation or any one person's feedback. So it is done by many people. What are the steps of evaluation? First step is identifying and defining objectives. First, we have to decide our objectives. What are our objectives? Second is planning learning experiences. Based on those objectives, to achieve those objectives, we have to plan proper learning experiences for the students. Then we can give those learning experiences to the students in the classroom or in the school. Then providing evidence through various tools. After giving learning experiences, we can test whether our objectives have achieved or at what extent our objectives have achieved. So we can get proper feedback or evidence by using various tools and techniques. Feedback to improve teaching learning. As I said, we can get feedback from this process, and that feedback we can use to improve the teaching learning process. And this process will again continuously going on. That's why evaluation is a continuous process. These are the steps of evaluation. Now, what are the characteristics of evaluation? It is the method to test the extent to which the objectives are achieved. As we discussed earlier, with the evaluation, we can find out the extent to which our educational objectives are achieved. It includes examinations and other tools also. As I said, we have to use various different relevant tools and techniques, which includes examinations and other tools also. About other tools we will discuss in the next video. Different tools and techniques are used. As I said, we will not depend only on one particular tool or technique. We have to use different or various or multiple tools and techniques. It is continuous process. This we have already discussed. It is the scientific process. So it is called objective process. Why it is called scientific process? Because here we have to follow certain steps, and we have to depend on the evidences what we got. So that's why it is a scientific process. It gives feedback to students, teachers, and the whole educational system, through which we can modify, we can change, we can transform. It is quantitative and qualitative in nature. As I said, quantity also is there, quantitative part, and qualitative also. That's why it is quantitative and qualitative in nature. It gives the outcome of teaching learning process. We have discussed already this. It can be understood the achievement according to the objective. When we evaluate, what we do, we find out to what extent our objectives are achieved. Means it can be understood the achievement according to the objectives. Evaluation process gives the feedback about students, teachers, teaching learning process, syllabus, and evaluation tools also. It is inclusive and continuous process which is useful for the students' progress. This definitely is useful for the students' progress, because based on this there will be continuous changes or improvement in the teaching learning process, in the evaluation tools, in the syllabus, in the program also. That's why it is very useful for the students' progress. So dear students, we have discussed about measurement, assessment and evaluation in this video. Thank you for your patient listening.